Have you ever tried to plant an idea in someone else's head? At the culmination of all the work done by Cobb and his team in the film, it all led up to this moment. Would they be able to pull off Inception? Can you truly plant an idea in someone else's head? Inception is the 7th feature-length film from Christopher Nolan, and it's my absolute favorite movie of all time. The film that started the dramatic trend in movies and trailers. It was one of the first great films I ever saw in theaters, and I hold it very dearly to my heart. Inception as a film and a concept are very intriguing. The film is an action, sci-fi, twisting story with plenty of layers of complexity and has a cliffhanger ending that is debated to this day. The dictionary defines Inception as an act, process, or instance of beginning. So it could be the start of a new business or the beginning of a new era in life. In the context of the film, Inception can take the meaning of a new beginning for various characters, and all of this is dependent on the inception of an idea in Fisher's head. Inception is described almost as an art form. They have to build a world of a dream that the subject has to come into and believe is real. Only then can they fill it with their subconscious, and then secrets can be learned. They pull this off in the film by using an experimental technology that creates a shared dream world that can be inhabited by those connected to the machine. In the film, our main character Cobb has been an extractor for many years and is trying to finally make his way out of the game and make it home to his 2 children. He's approached with an offer from Saito, a very powerful man, to give him clearance of his murder charge to get him home to his children, but he has to accomplish a feat he's never done before. Instead of extracting secrets, this time they're trying to make an idea seem organic and original in his target's subconscious. The target is Saito's business rival, Robert Fisher. He is the son of the head of the company, and his father is near death. He needs Fisher to break up his father's company for his own benefit. Cobb accepts and starts to assemble a team that can pull off the operation. To pull off Inception, the team needed to exploit an emotional vulnerability in Fisher. The team learns of Fisher's fractured relationship with his father. Despite his many years of trying to prove his worth to him, it was never enough. Now his father is on his deathbed, and Fisher wants to get the last bit of validation he can before he's gone. The team has Saito buy out the first-class flight Fisher takes from Australia to Los Angeles.
Entire cabin and the first-class flight attendant.
I bought the airline. It seemed neater.
And once Fisher is asleep, they all connect to the machine and enter into the dream world. To not get too detailed in the complexity of the film, the team literally goes deeper and deeper into the dream world. Think of it like an elevator going down, and the further the elevator goes, the higher the stakes and sense of realism get. The 3rd level down, the team gives Fisher the opportunity to speak to his father on his deathbed. The entire world of this level of the dream is for the interaction between him and his father. They wanted to replicate everything to be just like the deathbed he was on in real life. It mimicked the scene from earlier in the film, and the familiarity added to the sense of realism for Fisher. The sense of disappointment is a repeated beat, but this time his father expresses the full sentiment of what he thought of his son.
No. I was disappointed. We just tried.
Fisher heard the dying words of his father being disappointed. The approval he had been desperately trying to attain his whole life was never given to him, but in this scene, his father finally tells him that he's disappointed that he tried to be like him. His father wanted him to build his own life and not have to chase his now literal ghost. The added detail of the contents of the safe being something of sentimental value further added to the validated love he thought he would feel. His father kept the fan Fisher made in his childhood tucked away in the safe to protect and remind him of his son. After seeing the true meaning of his father's words, he decides to split the company so that he can live a life of meaning that he creates for himself and try not to be like his father. Well, his fake father, since the entire world around him is fabricated. The emotional manipulation is the key to opening a vulnerability in your subconscious and planting an idea. It's why the sappy, sad commercials can get you to donate, or an entrepreneur getting an investor to believe in a product. Planting ideas in a practical sense isn't nearly as hard in real life. The film even gives a great example early on.
Okay, here's me planning an idea in your head. I say to you, don't think about elephants. What are you thinking about?
Elephants.
Right, but it's not your idea because you know I gave it to you. The subject's mind can always trace the genesis of the idea.
It isn't terribly difficult to do something as simple as that, but what about the more obscure ways that this can be done today? Using reverse psychology, underselling, or talking around an idea are ways you can be persuaded into different ways of thinking without really knowing it. The film talks about subconscious security in a sci-fi sense, but despite being able to pull this off in the film, it calls into question our own subconscious security. Investing in your own subconscious security is something that can benefit you by knowing what ideas are your own or impressed upon you by someone else.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Can you truly know all your ideas and thoughts are your own? Can you trace back the source of your own ideas? They weren't all planted by the means of a sci-fi machine, but you get my drift. How well do you defend your thinking from external influence? It's an interesting thought. Matter of fact, am I planting an idea in your head right now? Thank you so much for watching this video. Inception is one of my favorite movies of all time, like I said earlier, and I was always going to make a video on Inception. And Christopher Nolan is by far my favorite director, so you can probably plan on another video on him in the future. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you like this content, and if you could, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.